Right, very interesting technology, and that's where we begin our show for tonight, because my guests are already seated. But before I speak to them, let's take a look at some little bit of history. Same day to the day today, same month to the election of 2017. The newspaper headline, that is the bold newspaper, The Standard. President Uhuru Kenyatta, Raila clash over 2007 post-election violence. President reignites controversy on the post-poll clashes by accusing Odinga, absolving DP, and ODM boss also responded on that day with a scathing attack on the president and the deputy. They went ahead to win that election. And of course, right there at the top, something that we are contending with today, NASA principals to meet over flag bearer and split fears, says Kalonzo Musyoka. Rings a bell in your mind? Because this is what Azimio Umoja is dealing with right now. And today the metrics changed completely because Martha Karua joined the foray. So what happens to Kalonzo Musyoka? And already Raila Odinga was talking about giving Martha Karua a position. Everyone is curious, and my guest tonight will be talking about that possible position. And away from that, there was also a story by A.G. Githu Muigai, then shocker for aspirants. 10 agencies gang up against them. Integrity, Chapter 6 of the Constitution was put right at the top of the aspirants' list of takes they must. And also banks renew fight to increase lending rates. Also a top story on that day. That was the 23rd of March 2017. Exact day today to the next gen election, with about only 139 days left to the next gen election. Right. A good place to begin our discussion tonight. Ambrose Weda, advocate and also a political analyst, joins us on the table tonight. So is my friend Mike Gwanda, also a political analyst, joining us on the table tonight. Live from Kisumu is Joseph Simeha. He's a governance and, of course, policy analyst and also political commentator. And, of course, I'm learning he's running in Vihiga on a new party, gentlemen, you know. He'll be telling us all about that next. But karibuni sana. Let's begin the discussion tonight with Ambrose, and this is very deliberate. The last time we met,
yes,
we were sitting downstairs,
yes,
and you said this is not the time to chest thump.
Yes.
The Azimio brigade should go and hunt for Kalonzo Musyoka, yes, and bring him.
Yes. And
that is exactly what happened.
In fact, not the Azimio. I think
you said everyone actually should talk to them.
And they continued.
Yes.
Aende. But you see, President Uhuru, knowing the winning strategy, knowing what it means and what is at stake, and seeing the figures, leave alone the fake opinion polls. If you look at the figures for now, the chief chicken seller is still ahead, and a lot of work has to be done. One of it, you already have Honorable Kalonzo in your docket. But what he is talking has the effect of disillusioning his base. They are there, yes, but they say there's nothing to hope in this thing. So that talk has to be brought to an end. How do you do it? You negotiate. You go down because it is you who is waiting for the prize. And you could see President Uhuru saying, my brother, I was taught by Moi. When President Moi and the late Nyachai, God rest their soul in eternal peace, when Moi wanted to go back, he went to Nyachai's home and said, Baba, where's the problem? Mama, pick a chai. Let's drink. That's exactly what the president did. He goes there and says, please, brother. And then from there you can see Honorable Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka saying, now things are fine. But the others are, he should not do this, let him go. Exactly what they did to Musalia.
And he went.
Mm-hmm. Now, they did that to Kalonzo in 2007. And you attribute that to Raila's inability to defeat a sitting president with a large margin. He didn't get the presidency. They did that to Mudavadi in 2007. He went with 400 votes. So now they want to do it. They have already left Kalonzo. They have already left Mudavadi. And Kalonzo has said, I'm coming. And I've come. Then they say, even if you have come, shut up. Surely. What's wrong with these people?
Let me bring this, Mike. That was 2013 when he had 43,000 votes in 2013 election. But let me bring Mike. You are one person that Weda told clearly, right? Stop saying, in fact, you said you are pianoing, right?
No. We are okay.
So you're one person who was not upbeat and you thought, actually, what if your mathematics was right? What would have happened? Because you thought he was unnecessary.
No. I did not think it was unnecessary. First of all, we need to agree.
You thought he was holding the party hostage. That's what you said.
I thought he was holding the nation at ransom, because everybody was speaking about him, and he was not making his decision as quick as perhaps the country wanted him to do. But you know, I like the way Mr. Weda talks. He talks as if these gentlemen do not have brains for themselves, and other people have to decide for them whether to kwenda huko or to come. You know, I think they're very smart individuals. But what baffles me is the aspect of when you wait for too long, and you wait for too long to an extent where everybody now seems to have something to say about you, then that kind of leadership baffles me. Because when you're looking for position of presidency, you need to be that individual that can make decisions very quickly. Some of them might not be right, but you've already made those decisions to save the nation from all this quagmire of uncertainty and just walking as if you are there and you're not there. That I say, and I still stand with it. Make decisions so that your followers knows this is the direction I'm going.
Okay.
I think from everything that has happened since we talked and today we are here, we know for a fact that Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka has moved to Azimio. Whether he said all that Mr. Weda had said, the point remains that he's moved to Azimio. And today, Azimio got the biggest catch that perhaps they've been looking for a very long time. Bigger than
Kalonzo Musyoka?
I'm saying, when it comes to Central Province, and that's the mountain area, then we know this is one of the biggest
The biggest catch in Mount Kenya region for Azimio was President Uhuru Kenyatta.
Totally agree. Yes. However, there are many factors.
Okay.
President Uhuru Kenyatta has not gone hand to hand to hands for votes for Honorable Raila Odinga, hand to hand for them in Central Province.
I'm going to talk about Martha Karua, and I want to begin the conversation of Martha Karua from Joseph Simehal's location. Yes. I had to bring this in because we were in a show together, and you are pianoing.
But according to him, he thinks that trouble in Azimio is keeping the nation at ransom. It's not the nation. Second, it is not late. It is actually very early. Honorable Raila went and got my teacher, Professor Kebwana, he got Ngilu, he got Mutua. And they were like, we have them. But if you look at the figures, if you look at the heartbeat of the canvas, they were simply saying, you have not gotten our man. Mm-hmm. Now, President Uhuru knows these things. And he knows, he says, it is not those ones. It is this one.
Okay.
And when now that one came, even you people are now saying, yeah. So let's learn to be able to talk to people with respect.
I need to talk to Joe.
I just don't think it is only President Uhuru Kenyatta who knows this. I think Honorable Raila
also knows
this.
He always chases them away.
No, absolutely not.
He chased Mudavadi, he chased Kalonzo, and now you people say,
Mudavadi, and let's just say, when it comes to Mudavadi, this guy was dining in ODM and NASA and all this Oka during daytime, and at night he was in Uda. I think he's at the right place now.
Okay, let me bring Joe. Joe, sorry for taking a little bit late. These gentlemen were at a show that they really argued about the position of Kalonzo Musyoka. But tonight I don't want to argue about the position of Kalonzo Musyoka, who's joined Azimio Umoja, and of course we know. But there are two things to this, Joe. One, what position will Kalonzo Musyoka say? There were media reports in a section of the print that he says that he needs 3/4 of the government in order to seat the deputy president or the running mate position. But aside from that, there is the arrival of the Iron Lady, Martha Karua, today. And newspaper headlines definitely are running with this, and they're reporting that it also complicates the metrics now for Raila Odinga in terms of choosing a running mate. Do you agree? Do you disagree with this?
Thank you very much, Ken, for that. First of all, is to mention that the show you are making reference to, I was actually on that show as well, but we've just changed places with Ambrose Weda, because Weda was here in Kisumu and I was right there in the studio in Nairobi. So I do remember that show very, very well. When we were discussing about Kalonzo Musyoka and Mudavadi. And for me, what I'm seeing now that is different, what is coming out that is worthy of our attention, in my humble opinion, is Kalonzo Musyoka's capacity and determination to negotiate. It's unlike the Kalonzo Musyoka I have known in the past. From the distance of from the distance that I've worked with initially CORD and then later NASA, I have not witnessed Kalonzo Musyoka negotiate seemingly as tough as he is doing right now. I suspect, and I'm just bringing this in, though you didn't ask, but I think it's important, that is because of the political system he now has around him. He was able to stand his ground. As they were saying kwenda, he was saying that, yes, of course I can kwenda, I can go. You know, it's not a must that I come to Azimio. So let me put that together with the fact that individual politicians' interests, or Azimio's interests, or even Kenya Kwanza's interests, must never be mistaken for national interests. So in my humble opinion, we must never make reference to national interests or the nation when we are talking about competing political formations and individual politicians. That is why, for now, you may never be able to tell who is going to be running mate. It is going to depend on individual politicians' interests, group interests, and negotiating power. So you can't tell for sure for now, but for me it seems likely that Kalonzo Musyoka will retain the upper hand in comparison to any other persons other than Raila Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta coming into the Azimio coalition. He seems to have negotiated very well. He seems to have retained a Trump position. He seems to be saying that, you know, you push me, I go. You push me, I pull this. I have so many cards to pull out of the bag. So I think that is what you have to consider when, instead of just going straight to talking about who and who will not be a running mate or otherwise.
Okay, has it narrowed down, in your opinion, the choices that Raila Odinga and Azimio la Umoja has it really narrowed down, or is still open? The field is still open for any player?
I think it's very much open. It's incredible how dynamic politics is. It may look very obvious to us right now, but do not be surprised that negotiations are still going on. Do not be surprised that some big stakeholder or big party from Azimio can cross to Kenya Kwanza, or some big party or stakeholder from Kenya Kwanza can cross to Azimio, or from somewhere you're not expecting, somebody who is not prominent in any of these coalitions can move in and acquire such prominence in the matrix of either of these coalitions. So in my experience in politics, is a bit too early, and this mostly gentlemen will be very careful that they will be wanting to name their running mates at the very last minute, just before the presidential nominations with the IEBC. So for me, it's still open.
Open. Let me bring the conversation right here now. Whether is it open because it narrows, and I'll give you perhaps the analogy of Raila Odinga today when he started saying playing football, right? When he was playing football, and he stopped right at Karua's doorstep, right? He stopped there. He gave the ball to everyone, starting from Macharia, and then ended right at Martha Karua's doorstep.
Let's not read too much. When
no, but how can we not read too much? We are reading
because
what they told
we look
us.
at facts.
They have told us he's playing football.
Please, let's just take small things. Then we say the decision as to who will the running mate be. First and foremost, you saw those who are Zays, the big wigs from Central. If you ask them to choose, they will not choose Martha Karua. Please get that clear.
Why?
That's a story for another day. Secondly, I really don't think that even Martha Karua joined because of negotiations. There's something I've always said, that there are some politicians, if you showed them that Honorable William Ruto, if he becomes president, you will be sent to retirement, all of you, because by virtue of age and influence, that would make them actually go to the side where hope still remains. So the vice president position will be on the basis of how do we get votes from Gema. How? Because the biggest vote now to be taken is from Gema. And Honorable Raila needs a running mate from Gema. Honorable William Samoei Arap Ruto from Gema.
But I'll stop you. Why do you think they need a running mate from Gema? Why must it be?
The votes.
No, but Gema has had a president, 3 presidents in fact. So what is so enticing about a running mate?
You are talking logic, my brother. You are talking political science. You are talking constitutional issues. Here, there will be voting on August 9th. and whoever has more votes will be president. So whoever wants to be president will look, where do I get the votes? If those votes happen to come from Gema, so be it. There will be no logic that, oh, the Kikus have been there, the Kisses have been out, let us get Dorobos, because they have never
That's not my point. My point is this.
Yes.
The Kikuyus have had a president, 3 presidents, in fact.
Yes.
There's nothing that a deputy president will do for the Kikuyus that the 3 presidents have not done for them. That cannot be an enticement. Secondly, apart from just that, William Ruto, deputy president, is not running as a Rift Valley. We've agreed about this in previous shows.
Yes.
He's not a Rift Valley presidential candidate. That is locked in his basket. He is a Mount Kenya presidential candidate. So he's already with them.
You see, those are either coffee house way of looking at it or office looking at it. Who told you that the Mount Kenya will not be asking? The Gema people are not saying, in your government, what do we have? And what do you offer? Why is Kalonzo being difficult? He is not saying you need to have a dance for me. He's saying, in this government,
what do I have?
What do I have?
Okay.
And what do I have? He's saying, if you are not giving me this, I want this percentage
of the government.
Even between President Uhuru and Honorable William Ruto, when they negotiated, it was like percentage of government. Honorable Uhuru did not tell Ruto that, you know, President Moi was there for 24 years. Now, Honorable Ruto did not tell Uhuru, you know, we are just succeeding Kibaki. It was us and our government. Okay. Then when I come in, I'll bring this number of votes, and this is the percentage. So now that Gema is not having a presidential candidate, strategists would say, how do we entice them? And what do we use to entice them? The biggest thing is the deputy president.
Okay, Mike, very interesting conversation, but talk to us about what Martha Karua brings to the Azimio movement. Does she bring anything?
You know, surprisingly, when I looked at the body language today between Honorable Raila Odinga and, of course, Honorable Martha Karua, I realized that they have a history, and not just a history of this movement from, Flower Party to Azimio, but a history. They call themselves, I had to say, I will not call you, Jacom, but I'll call you Baba,
but a comrade.
And I'll call you a comrade. That means they've been in this field rather longer than most people know. And they've been in the struggle, the first liberation, I think the second liberation, and now we're into the third liberation with the call on economic liberation. But that to say, that not to say that they've not had issues. When Martha Karua was the Minister of Constitution in Kibaki government, we know that they had great frictions and they had great difference with Honorable Raila Odinga, that they were not seeing each other eye to eye. But that also not to say that they cannot come together and work as a team, just like they did before. Mother has fought for this country. She's fought for issues of injustices. She's spoken her mind very, very eloquently in the past, until, we know that in the last 10 years she's been relegated to just being a citizen of this country, which I thought is a beautiful place to be, so that you can watch things from a distance and say, what if I just get an opportunity to be in government? What difference can I make? Because this is the last lap for them. These are individuals that knows very well that in the next 5 or 10 years, they might not be in the political arena of this country. And so I think they want to do their best for this country. For her to decide that indeed between, you ask one question, whether it's it now for the presidential race that we are having today, I would say yes, it is. Simea might say otherwise, and my friend here might say that it's still open, but I'm saying differently. I'm saying that this is an arena for Honorable William Ruto and Honorable Raila Odinga. Those are the only people we're going to see in the ballot. Everybody else will be coming there for their own interest, but not to be the President of the Republic of Kenya. And for that reason, but they have the right to do that. And for that reason, for Mother to come out and say, look, I have 2 people, 2 individuals. I'm not running for president. She ran for president earlier, and she didn't make much of it. And she says, I have 2 people here. I'm either going to be relegated, just like I've been 10 years, for the last 10 years, or I have to be part of the system. But if I have to be part of the system, is running with Ruto or joining Ruto giving me any hopes?
Okay.
Or is Honorable Raila Odinga giving me more hopes? we've seen what Mount Kenya is saying. Whether you disregard what those elders are saying, that they're supporting Honorable Amolo Odinga or not, I think that is to everybody's discretion. But Martha is smart enough to know that if Mount Kenya is deciding, and Honorable President of the Republic of Kenya is saying that this is the individual I'm supporting, she is already able to see that indeed Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga might get support from Central Province, and not just Central Province,
or probably,
the President of the Republic of Kenya.
I'll say what Raila Odinga said, her options were limited to only one.
I agree.
Yes, that's what he said it at that press conference.
Yes, and Martha Karua has been consistent. In 2017, she was asked who between Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga and William Somaya Duto, if given a chance, who would you support? She said, I will work with the Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. So she's at the right place.
All right, I'm coming to Ambrose, but I'd like to ask you, Joe, this question. There's a tweet that was sent out earlier by Mohamed Walie. I know you know him. He's a respectable member of the community. Now, Walie wrote 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 names. He started by Raila Odinga, Kivuta Kibwana, Kiraitu Murungi, Martha Karua, Muhisa Kitui, James Orengo, and ended at the doorstep of Professor Peter Nyanyongo. And he said the tough cookies of the second liberation, that is the political liberation we had in 1992, have reunited. These were the architects. Then the other side, just to be fair, of reading the whole tweet, he said not a single person who has fought for anything in Kenya is on the other side, just a bunch of comfort seekers. That's what he said on that tweet. But the first part interests me, that the heroes of the second liberation are teaming up and they hope that they can carry the third liberation. Is it even possible? Because if I took you back to 1963, no one has ever transversed the two. First 30 years to 92, second 30 years to 2002. Everyone who was in the first, we don't see them much. So is it possible that they are able to transition the new Kenya to the next liberation?
Thank you very much, Ken. Two things I would like to say. One, there is no one with one single story. There's no individual, including those mentioned in that tweet and others, who have one single story that, it's either positive only or negative, hero or villain. The heroes of yesteryears were villains during Kibaki's government. And I can mention Kibwana, for example, on land issues. And I could go on and on. There is not a single individual who has only one story to them in history, and it's never the end of history. There's always something unfolding, something in the making. So I don't think we can reach a conclusion like what Walie was reaching in that tweet. Secondly, in my opinion, based on what I know about the history of the Republic of Kenya, they can never ever be anything that you'll call a liberation for Kenyans, for as long as you have a government fronted by Kenyatta Incorporated, and those who have held levers of power, particularly economic power in this country, since independence. If you read the history of Kenya, and you can get it from even just books you can read casually, like the histories of the hanged and so on. He read the history of the Mau Mau, read the history of independence and how Kenyatta came into government, what they did to control government and so on, the brief disruption by Moi and the quick reconvening after Kibaki came back to power. I do not believe there can be anything that you can ever call liberation for the people of Kenya, for as long as that group controls government and is that group that is brokering whoever comes into the office of the president and whatever form of the next government will look like. So yes, we can talk about new government, which could be led by Honorable Raila Odinga, but in that, in my opinion, you cannot in the same sentence say, talk about liberation of the people of Kenya and Kenyatta Incorporated and that group that I'm talking about.
Very interesting, but it's not their fault that they're sitting right at the top, Simeha.
No, it's not their fault, but it's desire. It's by desire and design. It's not by default either. It's not their fault, and neither is it by default. It's by design from the beginning. And it is by design that they wish for there to be a continuation of those who feed off the fat of the land at the expense of the majority. And what best other than to put the best a person with the best political credentials, reform credentials, liberation credentials in this country, and that's Raila Amolo Odinga, at least as of now. So I am arguing that I do not think you can talk of a liberation. If Raila Odinga had run a campaign to be president with the partners, the traditional partners and new partners, traditional partners he has always run with, and new partners, but not those that are part of that incorporation, you'd probably talk of some kind of liberation, because then he would be doing that with the full mandate of the citizens of Kenya. Right now, mandate is coming from everywhere. The citizens will come in to sort of provide a thin veneer to crown it if, inshallah, Raila Odinga gets the presidency. But you cannot compare now to, for example, 2017, 2013, and 2007, when the mandate of the citizen was so overwhelming, but then was stopped by that group that I'm talking about. That's why I'm refusing this language of liberation. Raila Odinga, inshallah, could be president. Yes, he could be president. Yes, I'm sure in good faith, he will most likely attempt to do some very good things for the Republic of Kenya, but there'll always be blocks, huge roadblocks in his way because of the interests of the group that I talk about.
All right, I'll come to you, Mike, but you need to now come in. Still on the same thing, the 7 listed, they have recruited. Do they have the capacity? It's also time gone to bring the liberation that Simeha doesn't want to hear about. The economic liberation.
People saying, in the good old days, and yet there was nothing good. These people mentioned they couldn't
At least we stayed alive, whether.
These people mentioned they couldn't get that power. That is why those who have not been in the liberation, like Kibaki came, and who escorted him to State House? The same people. The same people. Like Raila led in escorting Kibaki to State House.
President Uhuru wasn't there.
President Uhuru was also not there.
Yeah.
He's doing his 10 years. And Ruto now has put everybody in a corner. President Uhuru has to come in and say, I need to help this liberation struggle heroes. It is not about heroism. These ones mentioned are spent. Some of them are collecting taxes from women selling mangoes and oranges in local markets. Honorable Mnyongo is there. Kiraitu Murungi is there doing it. Orengo now wants to also go to Shimeru Market and collect. And if you don't pay, they carry your things. They have relapsed the villages. Mm-hmm. The center is now still being ruled by the very people who are not in the liberation. Even now, the big hope for Raila is because Uhuru is backing him. Even the Martha Karua that my brother is celebrating, it was the effort of the president, who knows how to negotiate, who knows to say, my sister, please. Otherwise, the rest would be, it's rather us. Honorable Martha Karua, in the other side, there's Anwar Guru, and they're fighting over the governorship. She knows she will not be given the ticket. The only way you would get a ticket is on this other side. She's a shrewd politician. The advantage she brings to Azimio is the big name.
Martha Karua.
Martha Karua. Remember, most of the big names have gone to the other side. So when she comes, she brings in the big name and the female name.
What the most? What do you mean most of the big names have gone to the other side?
Just look around. Look around.
Just mention 5.
Look around.
Mention 5 of the big names on the other side.
Look around.
No, wait, mention 5 of the big names who have gone on the other side.
You want me to?
Just 5 names of the big.
From where she comes from, Waiguru is the other side.
Waiguru, yes.
Do you understand? The governor Nyeri is the other side.
No, the governor of Nyeri is not on the other side. He's the only one who is still with the president from that region. Among the governors, he's standing with the president.
Just wait, you will see.
You're talking about...
Just wait. The big name there now. Let me add. Yeah. Kuria is the other side.
Yes, Moses Kuria.
Moses Kuria is
TPS is there.
Kabogo is the other side.
Yes.
We are talking about people with big names and big pockets.
Oh, okay.
People who can come and shake the earth. Remember somebody like Kabogo, we were with him in 2013 with the Uhuru.
Oh, yes.
The people who can government also lend you aircrafts, chopper. Not us who are seeking lifts. So he brings, she brings the big name. The way Nyaga brought the name. The way sometimes Honorable Balala was brought in to bring a name. So that when you say us, we are made. But other than that, these credentials, as my brother Simea said, these credentials of liberation, they were liberators when they were outside, when Moi kept them out. But when they got into power, some of them went wild. Honorable Martha Karua was there at KICC. The day they said if Raila is winning, let Kenya ban, she was in charge. So it's only that as a country we forgive, we love one another, and we move forward.
Okay.
But I still repeat, the biggest catch again required, go and tell your people, is to go for Musalia. Let's go for him.
Can he change his mind, Ambrose?
Yote yawezekana kwa imani. Please. As on the Jubilee side, we always believe, do your best. Now you can see Martha Karua has come. There was a time you say, can they?
Actually, I'm going to ask that question directly about Martha Karua.
Yes.
But I'll let him comment because he's burning with something.
Yes.
But Martha Karua, when did she make up her mind? During the Jubilee Party meeting with Azimio at KICC,
yes.
There's a tweet that was sent.
Yes.
And someone asked, where is Martha Karua? She tweeted, relaxing at home.
The
other day she had an interview,
yes.
and Martha Karua, not an interview, but a press conference, I don't remember where, but she said that both of those sides are not clean. She's looking for a place where has a majority of people who are interested. Those two coalitions, she mentioned, yesterday she had an interview,
yes.
and yesterday she was non-committal, and today she's made...
Now,
so
look at it in the sense,
yeah.
I want you to look at the footsteps of President Uhuru, especially when it comes to these people. Even when Honorable Musalia Mudavadi slipped, everybody from Raila's side were like, let him go. We have Oparanya, we have who? But it's only the president who said, I'm very disappointed about this. And even when he was leaving, he tried to persuade him. Mm-hmm. You will trace and you see that in the movement of Martha Karua, you'll see the hand of the president.
Okay.
In the movement of Kalonzo, you see the hand of the president. In the movement of Dr. Gideon Moi, you see the hand of the president. If it was led for this other Azimio brigade, they will be chest thumping and saying, now we have deep state, and with the deep state, we will win.
Mike.
I think I totally disagree with what Mr. Weda is saying. We cannot say that Honorable Raila Odinga, in a nutshell, does not need all this individual. Yet it started Azimio the Umoja. That in itself tells you that this is an inclusive organization of individuals and parties that want to run this country. And it wants everybody to be in that bus. And for that reason, you cannot say that all this success has just been made as a result of the President of the Republic of Kenya. Absolutely not. I think the President of the Republic of Kenya and Honorable Raila Odinga have been sitting together, and they've been scheming and working together in the interest of bringing the country together. And I don't think that it is only the President who said, oh, let me bring this guy, and I really don't know whether you like him so much as Weda is trying to say. Absolutely not. I think where they started and they said, we want to bring a coalition of parties that will bring everybody together to be inclusive in this thing. I think that's when they began giving people roles and reaching out to all these individuals. If the president was the only one reaching out, and Honorable Raila Odinga did not want them, perhaps he would not have even gone up to where Martha was, and Martha would not have even come to where he was. Mm-hmm. And for that reason, I think Honorable Weda, give credence where it's due. It is Honorable Raila Odinga and his brother, the President of the Republic of Kenya, coming together and saying, let's bring everybody together. And so don't give credit to the President alone and forget about Honorable Raila Odinga, who is actually poised to be the President of the Republic of Kenya. I don't know how he look at you one day and say, what was Weda saying there? And he knew very well that actually things were already aligned up for me to be the president, including
Weda is a Jubilee guy.
Let me
Jubilee. He has to draw to his
that power you get, we will share it.
And Jubilee, by the way, is in Azimio. So you need to relax his attacks on Honorable Raila Odinga. But let me qualify what I was saying.
Yes.
When Mr. Simea certainly says that liberation is nothing, and that's what he quoted, that there was no march in this liberation, and especially on the 7 names that have been, tweeted here, then I think he's wrong, because I think it's the act, it's the fight. I think it's individuals that bared that cold morning and individuals that the government was looking at as the troublemakers and the first liberation and the second liberation. Individuals that said that Section 2A must go, that jailing individuals and politicians without trial is wrong. And those individuals are the ones coming in. They were threatened. Some of them were thrown to jail. Some of them did not sleep in their homes. give credence where it is due. They fought for our right. And sometimes we speak about the president here negatively, or to even some leaders negatively in government, and we walk out of this studio and go home. It never happened when this liberation and liberators did not go out there to shout and say that this must go, and eventually it went. And so let's give credence where it's due. Secondly, when we are talking about the big names that have gone the other side, and I'm happy you asked Mr. Weda, who are these big names? I thought he would have included the likes of Honorable Musalia Mudavadi, you know, already the other side, because they're the big names. And you can see that they went the other side, and as soon as they went the other side, now UDA seem to be having issues, because, oh, who's going to be the deputy president? Honorable Gachagua knew very well that he was going to be the deputy president. Now Musalia Mudavadi is the one being taken for the ride in America and other places. And now they're saying, wait, we've been struggling with this thing and you guys will be far away and suddenly you are here. They were not far away. They were already there. They were just mark timing on Oka. And when they realized that Oka was not a place for them to patch their feathers, they decided to go back where they belong. And so those are not big names. They were part of that system from the word go. I disagree with Weda again. It is not for us to say that Honorable Musalia Mudavadi go. He has a brain, he's a very smart guy, he's been the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. Honorable Musalia Mudavadi was a finance minister in this country. He's been a minister of local government, I think, at one time, and therefore he can make his own decision.
Deputy Prime Minister.
If he decides, he was a Deputy Prime Minister, if he decides to join, I don't know whatever, UDA the other side, he knows why he's joining UDA. I don't think it is on any fundamental differences that is totally repairable on Azimio side, but it's a decision he made.
Okay.
And I want to say this idea that politicians are being bought left, right, and center need to be written on the wall. This is perhaps why some of these politicians that you never thought, and I'd say that any given, many times in the past, that they will never join Honorable William Somaya Ruto. And now with Ruto, why do you think they're there? Because most of them have been bought. I rest my case.
Some of these Azimio supporters, Raila supporters, they are drunk even before they get power. They're already excluding people even before power comes. I suggest here that for winning, efforts now should be made to bring Musalia. They're like, no! He's already telling me, if Raila was to be president, where will you be? My brother, I'm one of the people who was taken to Nyati House by Moi. You understand that? I was there, we were out. I'm one of the best lawyers in Africa. And I'm in this country because of Jehovah, the King of Kings. No president will move me around. Not Honorable Raila, not Honorable Ruto, not it is my God. If Honorable Raila comes and is running the systems well, I will thrive. If Honorable Ruto comes and is running the systems well, I will thrive. I'm one of the few Kenyans who can live on what is called intellectual property. You understand that? So we are saying that if your side, this side, we are very interested because our president, our friend Uhuru has stuck his head into this. So we do not want embarrassment. We do not want him to be embarrassed. If it was not him, then we would have just left you people to chest stamp and then do your tell-a-latipim and you are defeated and you are used to it. And then you claim, oh, we have been rigged. But we are saying systematically, I'm not praising the president. You saw the other day when Honorable Kalonzo was already in Azimio, but he was still talking in a way that disillusions the core base. Now, Honorable Raila was also there. He was not that he had gone to Jupiter or Mercury. He was here. And they were closer than even President Uhuru. But President Uhuru took his time to go to his house because he knows that when you sit one-on-one, there is some charmness.
Okay.
You understand? So these things is about negotiations, sharing, talking. He learned them. Moi himself, when he was running for power and Nyachai had left and things were not working well, he worked in. But when his just listen, when Moi realized his government was a bit shaky, he talked to Honorable Raila and told him, my brother, fold that small thing called NDP, come in. It's the same President Uhuru, when things were, Baba was sitting on the streets and causing commotion, he did handshake. That is how you craft government. He aende. We rebuke it in Jesus' name.
I'll come to you. I'll come to you. You know,
that's your words. Those are your words.
Simeha has been waiting for a while. And Simeha, as you comment, because I know you want to add your voice to this debate, talk to us about the likelihood that with Martha Karua on the other side, with 120,000 votes that she got in Kirinyaga, with the fact that the Agikuyu value women leadership, looking at the foundation of leadership in the Gikuyu land, and her coming to support Raila Odinga, and President Uhuru Kenyatta also from that direction also supporting Raila Odinga. They say that the deputy president had scaled the wall, had scaled the mountain, and the mountain was his to lose. What dynamics changes right now, putting everything to context?
Thank you very much. First of all, Ken, I think I've told you before on your shows that I think the significance of that region, that Mount Kenya region, with regards to electoral politics in Kenya, is exaggerated when we are talking about numbers. The significance is something else, not in my understanding, not numbers. The significance is those who hold the levers of power, those who have held onto the system since independence, particularly the economic system and the security system, briefly disrupted by Daniel Arap Moi for a while, and several of them hibernated and sprang back in full force during the Kibaki era, and that is what makes a difference. And the idea of tyranny of numbers, I think, was just a creation of imagination to cover whatever else was being done by what really matters, and that is those who hold the power of the purse and the power of official violence, if I may use that word, the diplomatically I said security. So with that in mind, the coming in of Martha Karua, I do not think changes anything in terms of bringing numbers to Azimio. I think it's more about interest, and her interest vis-a-vis the interests of those who have drawn up this script together with Uhuru Kenyatta is minuscule. I think for her, I think as Weda was saying earlier, I think for her is more of, it's just more of image. It's just more of a show that, look, okay, we also have Martha Karua. It's much more of perception. I do not think it matters in terms of the numbers she brings on board. I think she crosses because the other side is too slippery for her. She wants Kirinyaga governor's position unless things have changed today. And the other side is too slippery for her because of the entrenchment of the current governor of Kirinyaga, that is Waiguru. So therefore, Martha Karua has no choice when she looks at the two leading formations, political formations in the country. Her competitor is already entrenched on the other side. She runs to the Azimio side. So I don't think that anything with regards to numbers will change because Martha Karua has gone to Azimio side. Let me just add on to this, and I think I associate with quite a bit of what Weda is saying. That is based on my experience. The script for what we are seeing now, the script for this succession, whereas some people may want to believe it's a script drawn up by brotherhood of Raila Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta, is a script drawn up by Kenyatta Incorporated and company. And Raila brought in to give it political legitimacy, the legitimacy of reform credentials and so on. I say this now.
Is the sound? All right, I think we have a challenge with your microphone, Simeha, but we're coming back to you because I wanted to ask him. He says that the field could be a little bit slippery for Martha Karua. Xavier, once we get him back, you can let us know. So how is it that he thinks Martha Karua would have not aged out Waiguru, yet Waiguru aged out Ngirishi? I mean, it could have been possible. Because he says the only reason she's here, one of the major reasons she's here, because the other side is already crowded.
Yes.
And talk about the numbers even as you speak about that.
In terms of moving, to go and... Waiguru herself is equally popular. So trying to entrench her to edge her out. There is popularity, there is kwacha aspect.
There's incumbency.
Incumbency. Also, Honorable Martha Karua is a senior counsel. She's a tough lady. She's a push. She pushes her way.
Okay.
And there are also people, when she comes in, they are very jittery.
Where she is.
So the only, yes. The only
I'll come back to you because we are told. I just need him to finish his point. Joe, if you could finish your point and also answer to the fact that you say Martha Karua, one of the major reasons she's on this other side because the other side is already crowded. But don't forget also that she edged out Ngirishi. That's why Guru. She came in later and edged out Ngirishi. Martha Karua would come in later and probably edge her out anyway.
Let me start there. The more reason why Martha Karua would be afraid of even attempting, because of the political stature, the aggressiveness, and the clout and the resources that the current governor commands. She has demonstrated that she leaves no stone unturned in terms of staking her claim on what she believes is hers on that side, and therefore is no easy task for any other person to unseat her from that patch in Kirinyaga. That's the more reason why Martha Karua would be very cautious. And remember just now that she's the current governor, so there's incumbency, there's resources, and so on and so forth. The point I was making before we got into that technical problem was, who is the author of this succession script? I think there's an illusion by some people that it's a brotherhood of Raila Odinga, Honorable Raila Odinga and Honorable President Uhuru Kenyatta. No, in my experience, in my knowledge, now with hindsight knowledge, this is a script drawn up by Kenyatta Incorporated and Company. This is a script that at some point, even those of us who worked with Raila believed was a jointly crafted script. But as things unfolded, as from the BBI time, as things have unfolded, it has been demonstrated so clearly. This is a script that is drawn up by Kenyatta Incorporated and the associates, and Raila comes in to give it political legitimacy because of his credentials. And whenever there are hurdles, it is the authors of this script who have to go and remove those hurdles. Where there is a problem, it's the authors of the script who have to come in and deal with that problem. Every time, as Weda had mentioned there earlier, Raila Odinga, Honorable, has seemed to struggle. It has been Uhuru Kenyatta to rush, because he's the one who knows the script. It has been Uhuru Kenyatta and associates to rush to the aid of Honorable Raila Odinga. So to me, it's just a fallacy to say that it's a brotherhood that is delivering this succession, inshallah, if it happens. No, I think Raila, his position has been defined. He comes in to give this script legitimacy. But the owners of the script, the controller of the script, are different. It's a different group.
Gentlemen, as you comment, yes. Martha Karua crossing over to support, not crossing over, she had not taken any stand, but supporting Raila Odinga comes just at the back of that endorsement of Maendeleo ya Wanawake 70th anniversary celebrations. Does it have any hand in this also? Do you think once they endorsed her, now she has the weight of the women behind her that she has to carry? So comment about that also as you conclude the discussion.
Now remember that when you bring a name, a brand name, the Wanjiku, the Achiens in the village, they want to look who is there, and they say Martha Karua is there, so and so is there. That is why when Honorable Raila crafted the Pentagon, the other side looked like it was just a small tribal outfit, and you saw the damage it caused. So these names matter. Let me just tell my brother Shimeha that the history of Kenya shows us that when you want power, there's a step. When you are at the doorstep of power, you are escorted. You can't go there by your force. Honorable Kenyatta, Uhuru's father, was escorted into State House by Jaramogi himself. He didn't do much. He was just escorted. Honorable Moi was escorted into State House by Kenyatta and later on by people like Njonjo. Honorable Kibaki was escorted into power by Honorable Raila. So if now Honorable Uhuru is escorting Raila to power, it is not that
who escorted Uhuru and Ruto to power?
Mheshimiwa Kibaki.
Okay.
You understand? You can't do Tiala Latibim now at the doorstep of power. You will not be allowed. Because he knows.
You must work with the exiting.
Yes, they are not just the exiting. The history of Kenya shows that you are escorted. I've narrated how it started.
Yes, yes.
So there is not that it is Uhuru Incorporated. But secondly, Honorable Uhuru knows how to get this power. That is why I keep on complaining or to my side that my brothers that when they should stop telling people I ended Tiala Latibio. If somebody has gone, if my brother Mijungu is leaving, how come and say my brother?
Don't leave.
We are almost to leave. I can't tell you, go, I will get you. We don't do that if you want power. You only do that if you want to be egoistic.
Okay.
So these endorsements, they show off confidence. They're like so and so. So you remember even in America. Remember in America, you will hear this media house has endorsed so and so, this has done so and so, this church has endorsed so and so, these people. It gives people confidence. There are some people that are 50-50. So when I hear, hey, my brother Mijungu is supporting this, and because I respect you, I'll be like, let me do that.
Okay, Mike.
I just don't think I like the idea of belittling Honorable Raila Odinga as if he cannot make decisions and bring people to support his cause. I want to remind Honorable Sumaya that Honorable Raila Odinga has run for presidency 3 times. And he was not running presidency 3 times with the Honorable, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Uhuru Kenyatta, supporting him. At that particular time, he was running it with other leaders in this country. And so to say that Honorable Raila Odinga is just bringing legitimacy, that the authors are different from him, to me that is an insult in the person of Honorable Raila Odinga and his integrity for that reason. And I think we cannot belittle a national hero to that extent. We have to accept that indeed, even if there were authors of this script of Azimio, Honorable Raila Odinga was part of it from the beginning, and he cannot be alienated from it. That, to us, we must be very clear on that.
Okay.
And if President Uhuru Kenyatta is coming in to support Honorable Raila Odinga in his quest for presidency, he should not be called to be the author. When Honorable Raila Odinga started running for presidency, in fact, President Uhuru was not even on his side at that particular time. And therefore, I want to agree that everybody is important, and all these names that Mr. Weda is quoting are very, very important to see that Kenya are now coming together. The Kenya that was split in 2007, 2008 seemingly are coming together. The Kenya that was split in 2013 and in 2017 seemingly are coming together, except one individual who is William Ruto, that has decided that I have to compete this individual because it seems that the presidency of 2022 was legitimately mine even before the Kenyan people voted. And for that reason, I think Honorable Raila Odinga is in the right place. And in addition to that, being supported by the president, something that is historical, an opposition leader being supported. We've said that before. But what we have to say is let's give this thing credence without pulling one side of the team to look like the weaker link and saying the other ones are the ones doing the work. That is not right.
Gentlemen, I have a few minutes on the clock. But when we come back, I want you each to weigh on what happened today between Cleophas Malala and Boni Halwale. The argument is that effectively Boni Halwale is the first elected senator while Cleophas Malala is going home. I'd like your sentiments on that, but let's play the video of the week. And this video is borrowed from someone who passed on years ago, but it's still, some of the things he said still sticks in our minds. Let's play the video of the week.
Loyalty, faithfulness, fidelity to the party will be #1 consideration. If we doubt you, if we think that you are going to bed with our opposition, we will not allow you to hold any office.
Otieno Kajwang, right? That guy was an orator. We miss him. But anyway, that one is related to the nominations that are going on, because there are several ways that they're going to use to hand over the nomination certificates to aspirants, making them candidates. That's top consideration for a lot of parties, because looking at the history of Jubilee Party and the split that happened, right? The 130 members of parliament, 25 women reps, and 23 senators who have left to be the deputy president on the other side, leaving Jubilee. If you look at that, that's a top considerations. But even as you comment, because I'll give you one round of comments each as we close, comment about what happened between Boni Halwale and Malala today. How did they first reach that deal? What was the consideration for them? Let me start with you, Mike.
Boni Halwale doesn't have money to run for governor because the stakes are very high in Kakamega. And for that reason, he actually evaluated himself and realized he thought that William Ruto will give him a lot of money to run for governor. That is not coming forth. And for that reason, he's decided perhaps he's going to go for something else that will need less amount of money. A number of people have also told him that running for governor is a big shot for him now that he had run to UDA that seemed not to have traction in Western as they thought. And for that reason, him spending a lot of time with Honorable Ruto has actually taken away a lot of votes from him, and now he has decided on the other one. When you come to Honorable Malala, even though he's thinking that he's going to be the governor, it might be very difficult for him because ODM is still having a very strong hold there with Governor Paranya still flying the flag of ODM in Western Kenya. And we know for a fact that he is using every resources possible to make sure that the ODM fraternity gets the governorship of Kakamega. And as a result of, being an incumbent governor, that means he's still sitting and is going out soon, supporting another, candidate who is an ODM candidate. They knew that it was going to be a very fierce battle, and for that reason, I think it was wise for them to think that if we have to give this guy a new lease of political life, then perhaps where he can fit is the senator and not the governor.
What a waste of time, Mike, as I go to Weda. What a waste of time. He could be doing second-time governor.
Sure. He will be doing second-time government.
And he's going back to where he left.
Because I think this is the best decision he can ever make. I've talked to a number of people in Western Kenya who says he can't make the governor, but if he tries the senatorial, there's no strong candidate in the senatorial position, and therefore he has a chance to win. And so I think he's making a big political decision.
Whether mistake to Cleophas Malala running for governor because the stakes, he's been lucky. Ran for MCA won, and then Boni Halwale makes a mistake and runs for governor against an incumbent, and he loses. Now Malala is upward trajectory, MCA, now senator, he's going for governor. Upwards, he could win it. But the mistake is you're leaving a comfortable seat that you can hold for another term to go for something that is very, very expensive even to run.
Let me just correct you. This thing of so-and-so leaving a mistake. In 2013, I was told, you're making a mistake leaving and joining Uhuru. Now, Martha Karua will celebrate as she joins Azimio because of the brand name. In politics, there are things you do also to build your name. That's why we are talking about Halwale, we are talking about Malala or wherever. So I do not see the mistake. What I can tell you is this. Look at the history of Honorable Ruto and Uhuru in 2013 and 2017, and you see areas where things were tough. You should see that they negotiated these things. So this is where, because Western is still dicey, I do not think UD would want fallouts. So fallouts here, it will basically mean that the chief chicken seller and Honorable Musalia Mudavadi, they come and say, my brother, let us work this so that we do not have fallouts. This thing of somebody doesn't have money, I really don't know where you get these things from. Well, please, don't see people as they walk along the road and then you underrate them. If he has run as senator, he has won, he was MP, it is about negotiations. Even here in Nairobi, you will see the Azimio side negotiating. You will see the UDA side negotiating. That is because there are times you do not want fallout. It's not about money, it's about trying to bring the Luhya nation closer, and therefore you don't want some of their sons. So that is a political strategy. It's not about lack of, and I think it is wisdom. What my friend and senior colleague Otieno Kajwang was saying about loyalty. I would ask, loyalty for what? Loyalty to where? This morning I was listening to one of the lectures by Bill Clinton. He said one of the things you have to learn is to learn learn to work with the people you do not like. Now you can see President Uhuru, and he worked with Ruto. Even their communities, they didn't like one another. Now he's working with the Honorable Raila. It is about the goal. Where do you want to go? And if where you want to go, it is only Bwana Mujungu will take you. It does not matter whether I like you or I don't. This thing of loyalty, damu, has kept us outside for years. And I rebuke that spirit in Jesus' name.
All right, and Joe, as you close the show for us, I read somewhere, confirm or deny this, that you just moved to the ANC party. Your handle still has the flowers of ANC. But I read somewhere that you have decamped, and now your new party is also affiliated to Azimio, even as you comment about what has happened in Western Kenya between Cleophas Malala and Dr. Boni Halwale.
Let me start with what you are alleging. I haven't even made anything public in terms of what platform I'm running on. As you know, the official campaigns haven't started yet. The party primaries haven't happened. The window for making decisions on one's party of preference, one's choice, is not yet closed. It's closing latest Saturday, I think therefore reasonably Friday. So therefore, yes, I will be running on a different party, but that is not something that I can make public now because it's not a one person's decision and it doesn't affect an individual. A decision has already been made. It doesn't pride itself with being affiliated to this or the other. That's not the most prominent thing about it, but just that it is a party that respects our choice to be able to run and go to the elections. When I say that, let me just be clearer. It's a party that saves us from the burden of imposition of candidates by people who call shots within the ANC party when Honorable Musalia Mudavadi is too busy doing campaigns for Kenya Kwanza. There are other one or two or three individuals already making decisions and causing huge fallouts within the ANC party. So that is why. But it is true that I'm still running, and that platform will be made public in due course, not later than I think next week. On what you say about what we observed about Boni Halwale and Cleophas Malala, both my friends, I think what's important is the optics. First, let me say, I agree that it's condescending to talk about Boni Halwale not having money. I think it's actually very condescending. This is about just interests, people negotiating interests. But what should be of major interest for us in terms of analysis is the optics. Look at where that decision was and made public. Look at the region, look at the parties involved, and then look at where the decision was finally made public. It just shows, to me, it confirms one thing, that one party in that Kenya Kwanza coalition has its script well knitted together in terms of an agenda, in terms of a common strategy, perhaps much better than other partners in the coalition. And therefore, you can see a common thread in where it's negotiating things, dropping this, picking up that, dropping this, picking up that, all towards the common strategy, all towards the goal. And I think unless the other partners learn that you have to have a common strategy for you to negotiate. Even when you had Honorable Rigathi Gachagua talk about the deputy presidency or the running mate, it's not just posturing, it's part of negotiation as part of a common strategy towards a goal. That's what perhaps my parting shot is, that the other parties in that coalition, they better learn something about having a broad common strategy towards a goal. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen. Unless there is anything supplementary we want to add, I think the topic is exhausted. And as I always say, I love having you on the show. We'll get another opportunity to do this, including the viewers who are participating in our program. I've seen quite a number of their contributions, but I'd like just to pick from one ardent member of News Hour, and he watches religiously. He's also seeking to be a governor of a county, Honorable Nicholas Gumbo. Now, he says this, that, Wakili Weda, you're right when you say that Governor Mutahi Kahiga in Nyeri's Kenya Kwanza through UDA. So you are right, I'm the one at least who brought that out. And in Nyandarua, Governor Kimemia, Kiambu, Nyoro, so it's Nyoro, not Kim, I made that mistake, who are active members of Azimio. And lastly, he's reminding you, Mike, that Raila Odinga has run 4 times, not 3 times, 97, 2007, 2013, and 2017. This is the 4th term. Thank you for watching News Hour this night. My name is Ken Mijungu, and earlier on we had Meresha Owiti with us on the broadcast, and of course the whole crew here. Let's do this again next week, same place, same time. But remember, Kivumbi every Monday. We start Kivumbi this Saturday. I know you've seen the promo around. We're going to the county of Kisumu. Hope you can be in Kisumu over the weekend. No?
We will arrange.
Yes. So Kivumbi is on the road. We're headed to Kisumu starting Saturday, Sunday, and of course Monday when we close with a town hall. Thank you for watching. My name is Ken Mijung once again. Have a good night. God bless.